It's good to see everybody this morning. We're now in the hands of Ms. Lisa Lambert.
This is the pre-meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, July 23rd. We have approval of minutes from July 16th.
Any issues, anyone? Okay.
Appeals, we have a request for a waiver of the noise ordinance on July 26th to the 28th, 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. And this is in Herndon Sage Park.
No issues.
March the 3rd at 911 Dolphin Street from 2 p.m. until 12 a.m.
Well, I guess all of you know this is the IMs and that we're going to approve this today. And we have an agreement with the IMs in the neighborhood to let this happen. So good thing. Let's move forward.
July.
Mr. President,
Councilman.
I'd like to commend Councilman Carroll for working out a very difficult situation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President. And I also said District 1, we can just correct that so people know.
Oh, it does. Okay. On July 22nd through the 26th, on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue and Belsaw Avenue from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m.
I guess that'll be all right.
September 21st in Cathedral Square from 12 p.m. until 9 p.m.
All right.
February the 8th on North Jackson Street between St. Anthony Street and State Street from 2 p.m. until 9 p.m.
All right.
Public hearings today is a public hearing to rezone property located at 59 Hillcrest Road from R1 to B2. Public hearing to declare the structure at 1909 Boterra Drive West, a public nuisance order demolished, 1622 Duval Street, 771 Farnell Street, 2203 Height Street, 2813 Berkeley Avenue, 1328 Adams Street, 411 Marshall Street, and 2351 Howell Avenue is fixing a cost. The others are demolitions. Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Betty Shin to request that the council rotate the time of their meetings at least twice a month. Emily Anderson to ask for support and directions on how to establish Pocket Museum in downtown Mobile. Sabrina Mass comments about mental health, distribution of opioid crisis funds, and distribution of money to nonprofits and oversight committees. Reggie Hill comments about forming weekly agendas, fiscal year 25 budget, expense of claims for taxpayers, and demolition of the Civic Center. CIP resolutions held over. 21650, authorized contract with Harris Contracting Services for Medal of Honor Park lighting, ball field, and court improvements. Resolutions held over. 01637, authorized amendment to agreement with Telepac Networks doing business as C-Spire to extend internet services for 60 months. 01638, authorized agreement with Alta Point Health Systems for crisis response under the Mobile Early Diversion Program. 03639, appoint Jay Canick and Jesse Galloway to the Improvement District of the City of Mobile McGowan Park Project. 08640, amend purchase order to JHCC Holdings to complete additional wreck repairs to Chevrolet Tahoe. 08641, approve purchase order to Gulf Coast Truck and Equipment for garbage truck fuel system repair. 08642, approve purchase order to Image Trend annual renewal of patient management software. 08643, approve purchase order to Next Gen Asset Management for application programming interface for MIT. 08644, approve purchase order to SHI International for computer network switches, power supplies, and warranty support. 08645, approve purchase order to University of South Alabama for summer semester paramedic classes. 21647, authorized contract with Canon Solutions America, Inc. for print services and supplies. 21648, authorized contract with Delcon for Mobile Museum of Art exterior repairs. 21649, authorized contract with Matt Johnson to provide digital marketing professional services. 31651, authorize and approve subaward grant agreement amendment number 2 with the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources for 3 Mile Creek watershed restoration. 37-652, consider the application of Quality Care on Wheels to operate a shuttle service. 60-654, authorizing settlement agreement and release of claims. Ordinance is being introduced. 64-043, it's rezoning property on Hillcrest Road.
Mr. President.
Yeah, Councilman Woods.
Just want to add some kind of color around what this is. This is basically almost at the corner of Old Shell and Hillcrest. And it's a lot that's kind of sandwiched in between, I guess, the gas station there and then what University of South Alabama is a standalone. And then also in the back, their doctor's offices. So this isn't any type of spot zoning per se. This is kind of just fitting in with what that area is kind of developing as. So I did just wanted to add some comment on that because I know it kind of looks a little weird as a standalone property, but did want to add that. So thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Consent resolutions being introduced. 31-657, authorize the mayor to apply, accept, and receive a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice for the fiscal year 24 Local Law Enforcement Crime Gun Intelligence Center Integration Initiative, $300,000, no local match.
Mr. Lasky.
Yes, we asked for that to be tabled at this point in time. To be eligible for the grant, we have to show that our gun crime has particularly increased. In fact, the statistics show quite the opposite, so I don't think we're going to be eligible for that grant at this time.
That's a good thing.
I mean, that's good news, but are you actually saying that the gun report of gunfire has went down?
Correct.
Okay.
To be eligible for the grant, we have to show an increase of the gun violence, and the statistics that they use actually show that we've had a decrease, not an increase. And if you want, I can get you more information about it, but we're no longer eligible for that grant.
How much has it decreased?
I can get you that information. I don't have it with me.
Okay, Councilman Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. And thank you, Director Lasky. And I know you said you're gonna get the information, but is it based on a time period of the decrease? What is looking at? What's the time frame?
I'm going to let the
Our shooting into cases are down 41%. Our assaults involving firearms, we're sitting about even, but our shooting intos are down 41%.
Could you repeat the first sentence that you stated? I'm sorry.
Our shooting into, they're down 41%. So we're not eligible for the grant because to be eligible for the grant, you have to show that you're up in gun crimes, and we're actually down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
And
Chief. Yes.
Chief,
Yes,
is
sir.
that based on last year numbers?
We're down this year versus last year.
Last year,
And
okay.
last year we were down versus the year before. Yes, sir.
Okay.
37-658, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer, table, wine, off-premises only license to Wawa 5800 1795 Cottage Hill Road. 659, 660, 661, and 662 are declaring the structures public nuisances and ordering them demolished. 40, 663, 64, 65, and 66 are fixing costs for demolition of structures. 58, 667, assess cost for removal of weeds, repeat group 72. 60, 668, approval board of special bonus to Public Works Employee of the Month. 60, 669, determined, and 670, 671, 672, and 673 are determined appropriations to Brave by Reflection, Inc., Christ United Church, Gulf Coast Ethnic and Heritage Jazz Festival Productions, Inc., Stewart Memorial Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, Christ United Church serve a public purpose and approving payment. Resolutions being introduced. 01674, approve amendment to professional services agreement for Mobile Civic Center improvements with GMC. 01,
GMC, this is good with Mills and Kaywood, so we're talking about the contract, right? All right.
Mr. President,
Mr. Reynolds.
this is basically where we've made our decision on the point of no return here to proceed forward with the 40% additional design that's required. Was there a dollar amount change in that from the original proposed amount, or is that remaining the same?
The monies to take it to 100% have already been moved. And so y'all have already. Y'all have already approved the money to take it to 100% design.
Just hold it.
Y'all have already approved to take it to 100% design. The money, it's funded. But the 60% check is where the city council wanted them to hold until you were comfortable with proceeding with 100% design.
But the dollar amount that was originally quoted to go to 100% has not changed?
Has not changed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
01675, authorize agreement with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency and the Gulf Coast High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area for fiscal year 24 HIDTA program funding, $29,107.
I think we're going to ask to move that to consent on the high intensity drug trafficking area.
08676, approved purchase order to Coastal Alabama Community College for spring semester EMT classes for firefighters, $44,610. 08677, approved purchase order to Vertiv Corporation for maintenance plans for public safety complex, $16,992. 08678, approved purchase order to TLG Peterbilt Springfield for 2024 Peterbilt water truck for motor pool, $235,000. 08679, approved purchase order to Vertiv Corp for maintenance plans for Museum Drive, $17,678. 09680, transfer funds from Capital Fund Public Facility Improvements to Grant Fund account for purchase of chiller for Mobile Museum of Art, $19,561. 09681, transfer funds from unassigned fund, general fund to capital improvement project Civic Center, new construction and demolition and capital improvement fund, $4,500,000.
Does this transfer allow for the contract to move forward and start?
This transfer puts the money in place for the for 21,685, which is the contract award.
21,685 is down the list. Okay. All right. One more question. I know during the presentation we talked about minority participation on the project. What was that amount?
18%.
18%?
Yes, sir.
Are they local?
Yes,
They are local. Okay.
they were local.
That's good.
Mr. President,
Mr.
I got a
Ramos.
question about the way this is broken down on the contingency. It's like 2 point something million for
Yeah.
the demolition, and then $1 million for the mosaics, and then a million contingency. How do we decide when they're into the contingency? Do they make like a change order request? How does the contingency work?
Good morning. As unforeseen conditions arise possibly on the project, that will submit a request for a change that will go through a formal approval process.
So the contract could actually be less than $4.6
Yes, sir.
million, and y'all gonna-
That is correct.
Okay.
We're anticipating that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk.
21682, authorized contract with Taylor Roofing and Concrete and Construction for MPD mounted unit concrete installation, $23,100. 21683, authorized contract with Coastal Installation for MPD mounted unit installation, $36,525. 21684, authorized contract with Sawgrass Consulting for 2025 bridge maintenance, $117,500. 21685, authorized contract with Sabre Demolition Corporation for demolition of Civic Center Theater and Expo Hall, $4,367,000. 25686, accept 2 permanent sidewalk easements for the 2023 CIP ADA sidewalk projects, districts 1 through 7.
Mr. President.
Mr. Woods.
I did have a question. I kind of looked through the, I guess, 25,686 regarding the sidewalks. Is that, I guess, is that a sidewalk that doesn't exist at the moment that we're kind of just, I guess I'm just trying to back into that, especially for like District 6. Is that a sidewalk that's existing that we're just accepting so that we can kind of use the money to make, I guess, the more walkable cities, or is there, I was kind of just curious about that.
Good morning. It's leftover monies from 2023 when we bid the ADA project. So all 7 districts have a little bit of money in it. District 5 had some additional monies that came in it for some new work. We're actually taking bids on it Wednesday. So hopefully you'll actually see the construction contract in a couple of weeks. That's the ones where we met with y'all and we solicited your input to say, which areas do you want us to concentrate on to go and make these ADA repairs?
Okay. And that's, so that's an existing sidewalk, because I know like in District 6, as we have that money, we go in, we ADA, make them ADA compliant. But that's an existing sidewalk, or is that just kind of, I know the ultimate goal is to make a walkable city with all the
So
sidewalks.
some of it is existing where we're upgrading the ramps and making them ADA compliant. And then some places there's some new sidewalks going in. So it's a little bit of both.
This particular, the easements related to this particular project are new sidewalks.
That's correct.
New sidewalks along Country Club Road and Westgate Road, which are partially funded by funds that the residents raised.
Okay, yeah. I get questions about sidewalks all the time, so I just making sure that I've understood.
I said districts 1 through 7, but you're saying it's only in District 5.
Announcements.
Council? Anything from administration?
I've just got one question, and it's the Civic Center with Sabre. The process on that, when it bid, did they have to list the subcontractors they were using?
Yes, sir. I believe they did, and they
Okay.
they complied with all that.
Yeah, Sabre's from where? New York
They're
somewhere?
in New York. Yes,
So how much of that, how much of the contract is going to local subcontractors?
18%.
So only 18, that's the minority participation.
I believe that's their major sub on that. I can get the exact specifics to you, Mr. Carroll, but I believe that's it.
Okay, so they'll self-perform the rest of the work other than,
That's our understanding.
okay.
Anything else? All right, we'll see each other at 10:30.